Tibaleka. I run a talk show called the Untold Story, actually an organization. It's an NGO that started about 6 years ago, and it's a behavior change communication organization, and we find ourselves on radio, in schools, on TV, and we give one-on-one counseling, group counseling, and all the type of counseling. Really, it was losing my husband to HIV/AIDS. Maybe that was not the most important thing, but the most important thing was what I was going through. I was quick. First of all, I denied my own results because I happened to be HIV negative, but I denied them for 12 years. I knew I was dying. I knew I had to do certain things quickly so that I could leave my children, say in the P1, P6, you know. And you can't believe, you live while you're dead. And that is when I decided, I said, I'm going to take the last test and I'm going to believe it. And that was the day when I kind of rose from the grave. The first time we went to church, to our church, we told the story, and it made a lot of impact. And when I saw the impact, I said, if it could make this impact on my church members, then maybe more people need it. So I started looking around for a wider forum for which I could do it, and indeed I was blessed with the support of UBC. The greatest story that impacted me most was actually in the women's prison. This lady and her husband were arrested for killing their own child, but because they were land wranglers, so the relatives wanted them arrested so that the relatives could take the land. So they said they had killed their own child, so they brought them here. They were sentenced to death. And one of the judges watched the show, and so the judge called me and said, bring the file. I took the file. They were awaiting Supreme Court to sit. So they had appealed to Supreme Court. So when they went, they reviewed the case. You can't believe the case, the death sentence was removed from the husband and wife, and they were given 7 years. Right now, the woman is living in a year. The 7 years are almost gone. So I feel so happy. You know, it's like you have given life to someone. The other story is a story of a lady who lives with about 8 children, and all of them are HIV positive. And they live in those areas of Kazo. It's a swampy area, and every time it rains, people just hang by the roof of the houses if the water can't go that far. And that's where they used to keep their medication whenever it would rain, because the house would flood and they would sleep in not even double-decker. It's kind of, you know, you sleep in the roof because the water is everywhere, and so they didn't have anything, but their medication was kept in the roof, and they were all HIV positive, and they were in a small house, and the husband had abandoned them. But one evening after it had rained, now this woman said, you know what, even the medicine had fallen in the water. And whenever it would rain, my God, I would think about that family and say, oh my God, it has rained. For some of us it is a blessing, but for those people, you know, but thank God when I rerun the show, I got someone to help them. And we are in advanced stages of putting up a house for them, and we are working towards that. Yes, at least someone is coming to our aid.